more live football from across Europe here on ESPN this weekend. On Saturday night, Serie A, AC Milan got up to a terrible start last weekend, losing at home to Sampdoria. They hope to fare better at Bologna. Then on Sunday, action from the top flight of French football. Bordeaux play Nice from 12:45. And then on Sunday evening, back to Serie A, Inter Milan host Roma, plus all the weekend's goals from Italy's top flight. Our coverage kicks off at 7:15. Tonight at Anfield, Hearts made Liverpool really work for their victory in a Europa League playoff. The Jambos took the lead late in the game. Luis Suarez confirmed Liverpool are in the draw for tomorrow's group stage. First reaction from the Liverpool dressing room now. Here's Daryl Curry.
Well, Ray, thank you very much. Stuart Downing is with me now. An eventful night in the end. Should it have been a little more straightforward?
Well, we knew it was going to be a tough game. You know, we had one up in the Hearts, and obviously they brought a good form with them, and they want to give something back for the fans. So we knew it was going to be tough, and I think we made a little bit more hard work than it should have been, really.
Yeah, the longer the night went on, and when Suarez hit the post, did that element of doubt just creep in the mind?
Yeah, I think we were a little bit wasteful in front of goal tonight. Like I say, we need to be more clinical if we want to win games, and that's a lesson for us. And hopefully, we'll save that for Sunday.
What was your mindset when David Templeton scored and Pepe Reina let that one slip through?
No, I think you just stay in the game and keep playing the way the manager wants us to play. Not get nervous and keep passing the ball around. I think we covered well, and like I said, Lewis got a great goal for us.
Was that the vital thing? The reaction right after that to not be phased?
Yeah, I think the manager's stressing that into the team. The reaction after if we go goal down or if we're under pressure. Keep playing the way we are. And like I say, I think we bounced back well. Same as City as well. At the weekend, and some good signs.
Yeah, and also the number of chances you mentioned you're creating. It looks as if the system is working. There's no problem there.
Yeah, it was like last season as well. We created a lot of chances, but we didn't finish. And the manager's stressing, we have to be more clinical in front of goal if we want to, do well in competitions or climb the league. And that was a lesson for us. We need to be more clinical in front of goal.
And as for you, a performance at left back, how was that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. Like I say, plenty of the ball, bit of defending to do, which I'm sure the manager would have liked. Got tested. I enjoyed it. It was a good game to play in, and like I say, we got through. That's the main thing. What
did he say to you before the game about that role? Is it vital to A, defend, but B, you've got to get forward the way the 4-3-3 system works?
Yeah, just go out and enjoy it, and get forward when I can, and try and get balls in the box. But obviously doing my job defending. I thought I'd done okay tonight on that part, and hopefully it puts me in contention for Sunday.
Is this the future left back?
I'm not sure. I think that you'll have to ask the manager that. I'm happy to play whether, as long as I play and do well in the team. That's the main thing.
Appreciate your time tonight. Well done.
No worries. Thank you.
Jeffries and Didier Mann watch Liverpool go through to the draw for the group stage of the Europa League. It's tomorrow in Monaco. So are you satisfied with Liverpool's performance this evening, Didi?
Yeah, it wasn't the most convincing stuff there. A good spell, 20-25 minutes in the second half where they needed to score, they didn't score, and then they made it hard for themselves. But you saw in the last 15-20 minutes that the team is still low in confidence. They lost the faith in passing the ball. They passed it with purpose for 20 minutes and then they just stopped, and they were inviting pressure off Hearts, and they got punished with their goal. And in the end, they are a touch lucky to avoid extra time.
Jim, were you impressed with Liverpool this evening?
I thought, as Didier says, that for 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the second half, they upped the tempo of the game. They created some great chances. I don't know how Suarez, when he went round the goalkeeper into an empty net, only he can answer that, because that was the goal that might have opened up the gates and maybe made it more comfortable for them. But I've got to say, Hearts' response was fantastic as the game was getting into the later stages, and you could always sense, and I said to you just after half time, remember that if Hearts score first, then in for a game. But they just switched off for that wee bit second at the end there, and Suarez, thankfully it was him that got the goal, because he would have been kicking himself if they had lost this game after the chance he had.
Liverpool controlled the game, but they didn't control the tie because they didn't take their chances. And the fact that Hearts were able to stay in the game, their fans they'll be absolutely high as kites on their way back to Edinburgh.
Well, you can see now they're still there. The reception they gave the team at the end of the match there just speaks volumes for the way that the team played, because they knew they come in here that probably before the match or the two legs started, probably people were saying 5 or 6 goals between each other, but they're on them a real close race tonight.
Look, if you don't take your chances, you leave yourself open to something like this when your goalkeeper has a really bad night at the office with this save, and all of a sudden the tie is under threat, because once it goes to, if it had gone to extra time, who knows? Okay, we don't accept it, but Liverpool should have close this game down.
Yeah, they should have done him. Maybe Sterling and then Borini. They should keep Temple on his right foot. He's all right-footed. They let him come inside. Still, Pepe will be very disappointed with that goal. There's been talk in the paper this week that De Vries may be coming from Swansea to give him some competition. And last year didn't have his best season, so he has to step up as well. The ball might be moving a little bit, but still, it's straight down his throat. He should be handling this better, and he shouldn't end up in the back of the net.
And for the Hearts fans, well, all of a sudden then they were starting to think what could happen. Did they then commit too many men forward after that? Sort of when they got into that position, it's late in the game and all of a sudden they've got the away goal too.
Yes, but you also got to know that maybe they were up on a high after getting that goal, and maybe they were thinking about winning the game and pushing forward, because another goal then they're through, because obviously if Liverpool get one back, 2 away goals, so you can understand that. But it was, it maybe been better if they'd taken it into extra time. But
I guess we shouldn't really criticise them for really taking the game to Liverpool, because they were on the front foot by then, and when you leave yourself open to someone like Suarez, he's going to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I don't think there's any real danger. There's still got the back four behind the ball, one midfielder. There wasn't really any danger. They defended as well to keep him outside on his left foot. Maybe the goalkeeper should do a little bit better, but it's a fantastic finish. We know he's capable of that.
Yeah, but Hearts are a young side. They were on a high. They'd equalised. The equaliser in the tie, and then they've gone on thinking, well, another goal and we're through here. So you can't blame them for that. It was a great spirited performance, and they maybe going to see that they had a chance there to go through, and they nearly did it.
Look, it's work in progress. What do you say to Liverpool fans that are thinking now, well, we should have sorted this game out a little bit easier than that?
Yeah, but still, I think performance-wise, Brendan Rodgers will be disappointed. It was nowhere near as good enough as he expected, and as it played on Sunday. Obviously, it's a different game. These are the types of games Liverpool struggled last season, when they had teams coming here, 10 or 11 men behind the ball, when they had to break him down. And I think this is where Nuri Sahin will be a major player for them, and maybe one or two more coming in, because if you want to break teams down, you need a little bit of magic. And apart from Sterling, when he came on in the second half, they lacked it over the 90 minutes, and they need somebody who can open teams up. Apart from Sterling and Suarez, they haven't really got a player there. I think Downing was excellent tonight at left back. Maybe this is future for him to play in that position, but I think there's still one or two offensive players short to really compete with the top four.
Liverpool fans will be wondering too. Andy Carroll's gone to West Ham. They'll be wondering who's going to come in the next 24 hours. That remains to be seen. More reaction from Anfield still to come. We'll be hearing from the two managers. Brendan Rodgers, we'll find out tomorrow who his team are going to play in the group stage of the Europa League. John McGlynn will be so proud of his boys. Hear from them both next. Live football here on ESPN this weekend. On Saturday afternoon, it's Manchester City against Queen's Park Rangers in the Barclays Premier League. Thoughts will go back to the game that settled last season's title race, the climax somewhat dramatic. Pre-match coverage from 4:30 on Saturday. And then on Sunday afternoon, Rangers face Elgin in the third division of the Scottish Football League from Ibrox at 4 o'clock. Tonight at Anfield, Liverpool have won through to the group stage of the Europa League. Luis Suarez goal late in the game sent them through. And let's get some post-match reaction now from Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers, who's talking to Daryl Curry.
Ray, thanks again. Well, Brendan, how do you assess that night?
Well, the objective was to get into the group stages, and we got there. So we made hard work of it. I think, first of all, congratulations to Hearts. I thought they'd done Scottish football proud. I thought they were done very well, and it was always going to be a really difficult game. So we were a bit wasteful tonight. I thought our attitude commitment was fantastic. Wasteful in front of goal. But, like as I said, when we probably scored then the most difficult one. I think Steven Gerrard typified our spirit. If you look at the goal, how he pressed, how he made the drive and run. Obviously, pass got cut out, but his recovery run back in again to win the ball, and obviously get the attack going again, and obviously eventually Luis Suarez gets the goal. So, but a hard night's work, great commitment, like I said, with the players, and we got through, which was the most important thing.
Did you fear a little the longer the night went on at 0-0 that maybe this inevitable could happen, that they would get a chance?
Not really, no. I got to be honest, I felt reasonably comfortable within the game. Of course, Hearts, as I said, they worked hard and some good players, but Pepe Reina was never really threatened in the goal. But like I said, it was a goal that went in, so we had to then show a response, and the response was magnificent.
I read your programme notes before the game, had some quite powerful words in there tonight. One thing you did say was finding consistency, how important it is to get that level. Will that come? Because obviously you made a few changes tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Listen, we didn't lose the game, which was important. We're off the back of a terrific performance. And like I said, apart from our little spell against West Brom in the first game of the season, the boys have been excellent. So I can have no complaints. Like I said, they've been absolutely fantastic. They had to dig in a wee bit tonight. It was important that we kept the faith. We had to keep passing, keep moving, keep creating the openings, and we done that. But we just, that final ball and that final wee bit of quality just didn't allow us to get the goal a bit earlier. So, but like I said, I'm delighted to be through. This is always a tough game, home and away, and we've obviously got the job done. But like I said, congratulations to the Hearts. As I said, their boys worked very, very hard. The supporters were terrific tonight, and again, it created a wonderful atmosphere along with our supporters.
How did you feel young Adam Morgan did in his full competitive debut?
Yeah, I was pleased for him. He's a local boy, and it's important these boys that are come through the ranks that are from Liverpool. He's been a supporter all his life. So for him to come in and get his first start like that in a competitive game was great for him. And like I said, it's an opportunity for me to give the young players an opportunity. And I just feel with young players, you've got to throw them in to see what they're like. And I thought he'd done very well for an hour.
Now, before the game, we spoke about Andy Carroll. The game's done and the transfer's complete, we're told now. Where does that leave you at the club now in terms of bringing players in? Do you need to replace him?
Yeah, but we certainly need to get. That was the understanding of Andy obviously going out, was to go out and get some games. He obviously wasn't going to play regular here, but he'll go to West Ham and get some games, and that will then hopefully allow us to complete the opportunity to get another player in tomorrow.
Are you close to doing any deals now?
Well, I'll speak with our managing director Ian Eyre, who's done brilliant really over the course of the summer. There's been a lot of movement here at the club, so I'll speak to Ian afterwards and see where we're at.
I know it's the policy, you won't mention any names, but do you feel you need more than one in?
If it's possible, we've got a number of targets, but of course it's not always our choice. But like I said, we certainly need help in terms of one or two numbers, and I hope we can do that tomorrow.
Can you give us an update as well on Charlie Adam, Jay Spearing as well, obviously linked with other clubs and perhaps bids coming in?
No, nothing like I said out of yet. Once I speak to you, and then I'll get the full. My concentration was purely on the game today, so like I said, now the game's finished, I'll get an update and see where we're at.
Well done tonight. I won't get that update. Thanks, Brendan.
Okay. Thanks.
Jim Jeffries and Didi Hamann watched Liverpool go through this evening, and we've been joined by Craig Burley. Good evening.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
It's not a Christmas present from my grandmother.
Yeah.
I was just anticipating being a bit cool here at Anfield.
Well, whatever it is, it's shocking. Now, who do you think Liverpool should go for?
I think it's difficult off the top of my head to come up with names. I mean, there's a couple of very good strikers at Newcastle to start with. There might be some movement there. We thought Andy Carroll might be going back there. But they've lost Cout as well in the summer. Now they've lost Carroll, so that's two strikers down. They brought in Barini, one or two talking Dempsey. You know, the Dempsey situation at Fulham's not helped anybody. It's certainly not helped Clint Dempsey, but I think there will be some movement here. But as you say, he'll have to sit down with his board and have a talk about it. Carroll's not left the club. He's just gone on loan.
You said beforehand you think they need a winger. You mentioned Walcott as well. Sterling's doing a great job coming in there. Do you need it a central striker more than anything? Someone that's going to replace, not Andy Carroll in terms of star perhaps, because Brendan Rodgers might want something else, but you need a striker that can take the weight of Luis Suarez. You've got to wrap up in cotton wool for most of this season now.
Yeah, and we've seen again tonight, at some stage he has to start scoring goals. I know he scored the goal at the end, but as Jim said, he had an open goal and he didn't even take his chance there. He wants to create chances for the players. So I think they need somebody else who gives them 10-15 goals a season at least, and if you get another forward in, it might give you the option to play Suarez out on the wing.
Jim, he's a great player, but in terms of converting chances, what's your assessment?
Well, I'm surprised he doesn't score more goals than he does, because he gets into fantastic positions and he's a great close control. He's always capable of beating a defender, but you know, he just wants to do it so perfect that try and score the perfect goal, it costs them in the end. I think what they'll do, now that they've got the money for Carroll, I think they'll go for Dempsey. I think you'll find that'll be one that they're obviously after.
What do you think about the conversion rate?
Well, actually, his conversion rate in Holland was excellent for Ajax. Now, I know this is not the Dutch league, and I know it's much tougher here, but he certainly has the ability. But I said in the commentary, Ray, Kenny Dalglish, if he was watching it, must have been thinking, if only last season, all these chances that fell our way in games that were tight, if he'd converted them. Now, that was probably his most difficult one.
Just be patient and look what happens.
Well, I know it's patience, but you do need somebody who's a natural finisher. Whether you hark back to the days of Rush, and then you've got Fowler and the likes. You need somebody at the end of the day to convert all your good play and stick it in the back of the net. As I say, his record in Holland was excellent. In fact, it was fantastic. But last year he hit the post more than any player from decent positions. And again, the one where he went through and beat the goalkeeper there. What does he not understand about empty net? Just stick it in.
Work in progress, we all know that. But what's your assessment of the early days of this new Liverpool team under Brendan Rodgers?
Well, there's all this talk about a passing team, but Liverpool, and Didi will tell you, they've always passed the ball. No matter who's been the manager. They may be taking a few more risks from the back, and Pepe Reina may have to deal with a few more scenarios where it's rolled to him and he didn't have a particularly good night, and he's going to have to deal with a lot of it to his feet. Alan looks a super little player in there. I thought he did really well against Man City. So he's blooding some new players, and it is going to take time. And so the board will have to be patient with him. But to get to that stage where they're fighting with Man City, Manchester United and Chelsea, it's still going to take money, and they're still going to have to bring quality personnel in.
Other side of the coin, Hearts are unbeaten in the SPL so far. They will take great confidence from the two performances against Liverpool now. They're moving in the right direction, aren't they, Jim?
Yes, without doubt. They're a good young side. They've made a number of changes. A lot of players left at the end of the season. But on the performance over the two matches, then they've got a lot to look forward to this season.
It was emotional, you can say, for the Hearts supporters this evening, because they gave everything. They took the lead, and look what it means to this Hearts fan when, at the end of it, never mind, mate, never mind. There's John McGlynn.
Ray, many thanks. Well, John, so close in the end.
Yeah, very much so. We're very proud of the players. The effort they put in tonight is, beyond our wildest dreams, to be honest with you. The two games, I think we've matched Liverpool. Certainly at Tynecastle tonight, obviously there's a lot of the ball, but we had a great shape about us. The effort that the players put in was, unbelievable. And we caused one or two problems, and obviously we get ourselves in front with not enough lot of time to go, and if we could just have held on, then we probably could have been going into extra time. And to come down here and put in that kind of performance and take Liverpool so close, it's disappointing, but at the same time, it's a kind of moral victory to come down here and even one each with Liverpool. It's a great achievement for us.
What was your thought process when that goal went in and you went 1-0 up at Anfield?
Well, it would seem as if, I think the guys went to win 2-0, because we're bodies forward and we actually got caught in a counter-attack. Ryan McGinn's going forward and we lose the ball and the breakaway. Big Mario slips, and of course Suarez, if you leave him in that kind of situation, he's liable to punish you, and that's what can happen. So, maybe a wee bit naive, but obviously at 1-0 you're going to extra time, 2-0 you've won the tie. So I think the lads thought we had them and maybe just go and try and win the game, and well, from that point of view it came back to bite us. But I can't really complain about the players over the piece. They've been absolutely first class, and the fans here tonight have showed their appreciation for not only tonight, I think for the tie at Tynecastle as well. They came here and they sang their hearts out for 93 minutes and stayed well behind at the end of the game as well.
You can really take this on this season as well. That will give you surely a lot of confidence.
Well, it must give us a lot of confidence over the two ties to take them so close. Then we must take that into our SPL league, and I think that we've done the SPL proud as well for our performance, because everyone looks upon the SPL being, so far apart, and financially we are, but I think we've shown over two games that there's not that big a gap. But we have got to take this back into our SPL campaign throughout the whole season.
Jamie McDonald had a fantastic game tonight, some great saves. I don't know if you've seen the goal though, it eventually knocked you out. Did he maybe just get caught at the near post?
I'm not sure. I obviously haven't seen it again. We didn't have the best angles from where the dugouts are here, so we'll look at that again. But we can't complain. Jamie's made some great saves for us, particularly in the first half when Gerrard was through. It was excellent. So no, I can't point the finger at anyone at all. Everyone in our team was excellent, and Jamie was there as well.
And finally, David Templeton, of course, got the goal. You'll have seen the headlines, John, like all of us this week, speculation about him perhaps leaving the club. Can you give us any update, and might this happen?
I don't know, to be honest with you. As far as I was concerned, before the kick-off, I was going into the game. David Templeton was a Hearts player, and until somebody tells me that he's not, he's a Hearts player. As far as I'm concerned, he's a Hearts player, and that's why we picked him tonight. And he went out and done his stuff, and he scored a goal. So delighted for that.
Thanks for your time. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, well played, Hart. And that is still crying. He needs comforting, this man. So, Jim, what's the potential for Hearts this season?
Well, they could go on, obviously, with Rangers being out of the league and Celtic's maybe got an eye on the Champions League.
So here's what
you never
Liverpool
know.
might be having to face in the group stage. And Spurs, because they're top seeds as well. So if we can take all this in...
Well, one of those 87 teams.
Yeah.
So I think that just shows that it's how difficult it is to win this Europa League. So many teams, so many games.
Yeah. Newcastle have gone through as well. They're in pot 3.
Yeah.
Have you memorised all those teams? You know who they might get. There's some top teams in the competition. Let's
It's
say.
a very difficult one to win. Don't forget the teams have got to drop out the Champions League as well. But for me here, from this fiasco we've had in Scottish football recently, unfortunately, with the Rangers debacle, we've got the national team embarking on a difficult qualifying campaign coming up, starting next Saturday. We've got Celtic for the first time since 2008 back in the Champions League. And Hearts over 2 legs against the Liverpool side have been very, very competitive. Now that for me is a little bit uplifting and a troubled time for Scottish football.
Why is the Europa League so important to Liverpool? Should they be making it a priority? And if so, why?
You have to give it a go. I think we've seen tonight that a few young players got a chance to gain some international experience in the European competition, and this is what he can do. We've just seen how many teams are involved, so you probably play 14, 15, 16 games before you get to the final. I think it's a fantastic learning curve for some of the younger players and all the other players as well, because they're pretty inexperienced in Europe.
Isn't it good game time for the players that aren't getting a lot of time on the pitch in the Premier Leagues? Isn't it going to be good for them because it's good opposition and competitive games?
Henderson, Carragher, Downing, these kind of players. Young Sterling got a run out again, young Morgan got a run out. So it is good, but the trouble is, if they do push on towards that Champions League place and the top 4, then he's got a decision to make in terms of his personnel, Ray.
A quick reminder that coming up at the weekend, live Barclays Premier League action here on ESPN. Manchester City against Queen's Park Rangers, pre-match coverage from 4:30. Quite dramatic climax to last season's game. And then on Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock, it's Rangers versus Elgin in the 3rd division of the Scottish Football League. And thanks to Jim Jeffries, thanks to Didi Herman, and thank you to Craig Burley. Safe passage for Liverpool through to the group stage of the Europa League. Well played, Hearts. See you soon. Bye for now.
Walking on a dream.